it's dawned upon me that when you say something, you can manifest a reality. I mean, a very simple one is saying, I am. That's the most basic it is. That's an expression of existing, I am. And a lot of people say, I'm not. Like, I'm not doing this, I should be doing that, I could be doing this, or I am. Here's really the worst one, let's just jump to it. I am not good enough, or I am a bum, or I am jobless. What you do is, what you think you're doing is expressing a state of affairs which is real. You're expressing a state of affairs which you experience as your reality. So you might say, well, it's factually true. The statements I'm saying are factually true because they correspond to a past or present state. But what you don't realize is you're talking about yourself in a very timeless way, because to be is not to exist in time, but to exist in some kind of identity. It's to exist in some kind of form, basically. And forms don't abide by time. As Buddha said, obviously, forms are ever changing, and generally speaking, the truth can take many forms. Okay, you should never get too bogged down in truth as being a specific thing, because everything is subject to change, as independent origination. And so when you say something like, I am X, I am ... you're making quite a timeless statement. Just my dog. You're making quite a timeless statement there. You're saying something about the form of your being. And again, the most simple base one is, I am. I mean, God might say I am. Jesus said I am. And in particular, he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Which is an interesting statement. Very interesting. I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. And let's honestly even forget about Jesus and forget any concept you have of Jesus. Just look at the sentence. I am the way. I'll even say it again. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I mean, you can read into that however you want, of course. It's always up to interpretation, and that's the beauty of it. But today, now, I see it as saying something about the statement I am, it's something about the nature of what expression and what verbalizing something does for you. Because you verbalize your reality. I mean, you might say, and I was remembering a quote from Scarface today. I was talking to my friend who's recording this video now, about the quote from Scarface, all I've got is my word and my balls. In other words, all I've got is my will and how I communicate that will and how I manifest that will. So if your communication's out of whack, because when you say something, you share an intention with the world. See, now you might be saying, I'm just saying an abstract fact. I failed the interview. You might say, I failed the interview. It's tough going out there. And you might, and all the realists in the world will nod their heads like, yeah, he's right. That's how it is. But and you might then say, well, that's just like an abstract statement in the world. But what you don't realize is you've spoken that again into existence. You are responsible for that belief. Do you understand what responsibility you bear there? And even if you agree with it, but you'd like it to change, you've still done a misdeed to yourself because you've shared something that you don't even believe in. You've communicated something which is not in line with your own will, which is to not fail the interview, for example. So why would you ever manifest that? I'm not sure about why, and that's a real question as to why someone would do that. But I think it's easier to subscribe to, I think it's evil really, actually, now that I think about it now, because only evil would make you believe that you are not capable of something you will. Only evil would make you repeat an expression of a statement which is not in line with what you would like. It's a spiritual form of being put down, basically. And that has a source, that has a heart. There is a will behind that. And you could say, traditionally, you could say that's Satan, you could say that's Maya, that's delusion. But really, all you have to know is that that's not in line with what you want. So you need to align unless you don't want to pass the interview, then okay, it's completely fine. Your statement of I've failed has matched your will. But I'm not talking about a will problem in this video. If you have a will problem, you need to get in touch with what you want. I'm saying about alignment. If you want something, you must verbalize that desire in communication. And that's the first step of manifestation, is expressing that you actually are in line with what you are, which is to say, I am a runner. You know, you might even say I'm a gamer. I like playing games. And every time you say something, even if you think it's innocent, like that's the worst, when it's an expression like it's a fact. I am a jobless, I'm a bum. Even if you say it, unless you say it jokingly, I would say, you're perpetuating that state of being. And the conversation you have, as Neville Goddard said in his very short book, in his pamphlet, Mental Diets. I'm only joking, I like the book. As he said in that book, the conversation you have with yourself is the formation of the reality that you create for yourself. Okay, the book, it's manifested itself in front of me. This one here. And in it he talks about a statement from the Bible where it said, "Put off the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. Put on a new man. Put on a new man and be renewed in the spirit of your mind." Which is he says, Neville Goddard, is to change your inner conversation, for speech and mind are one. A change of speech is a change of mind. So that's all there is really, I want to say in this video anyway. Which is aligning, what alignment means, which it's dawning on me now. Alignment, first step of it is to change your language to be more in line with the will of what you'd like. Otherwise you keep yourself in a narrative which keeps you stuck.